Efile manicuring is the process of using an electric file and bit attachments to exfoliate dead or dry skin cells on and around the natural nails. An e-file may also be used to service artificial nail enhancements. Today's e-file manicuring focus will be on that pertaining to the natural nails. In this video, I will be taking you through the 7 newbie mistakes to avoid when e-file manicuring. E-file manicuring is the skill that takes time and repetition to master, but assuming you have mastered some form of manual technique to prep your nails for product application, today's e-file manicuring tips should be helpful to you if you are just starting to pick up an e-file or are considering starting practicing and training an e-file manicure technique. Let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Paola of PaolaPonceNails.com, your source for all things premium soft gels and success as a specialized nail artist. If you would like to continue growing with me, then at the end of this video, do consider subscribing. Mistake number 1. Not knowing the anatomy of the natural nails. This has to be the most important mistake to note. I'm going to exaggerate here so that you can understand the magnitude of not knowing nail anatomy before using tools, especially motorized tools on the natural nails. Not knowing your nail anatomy and trying to work your tools to prep the nail for a product procedure is like a doctor trying to perform surgery blindfolded. Bleeding, temporary or permanent damage can occur as a result of not knowing the areas of the nails you can operate on with your manual and e-file tools. The areas of the natural nail unit that we work on are nail plate, cuticle, and the nail folds. Knowing where they start or end is important to conduct a safe e-file manicure. The nail plate is the hard surface of the nail where the nail product is placed. It's made up of keratin. It is a very durable material to apply product on, and its integrity needs to be preserved so that it can remain strong and allow you to safely and beautifully wear nail products on them for years to come. The nail folds. The nail unit has a proximal nail fold and a lateral nail fold. The proximal nail fold surrounds the cuticle area of the nail, and that thin translucent strip at the edge of the proximal nail fold is called the keratinized proximal nail fold. Sometimes pros will also call it eponychia. I certainly have, but according to industry scientists, keratinized proximal nail fold is the correct term. The lateral folds surround the sides of the nail plate. It's that skin immediately next to it. The cuticle is the dead skin found attached to the nail plate. It must be thoroughly exfoliated because if it makes any kind of contact with nail products, those products will lift. They're not intended to be applied on skin, whether dead or living. Nail products that last weeks only stick to the nail plate. When working with your e-file, you need to clearly know these areas of the nail and use the correct exfoliation protocol for each. Mistake number 2, not taking note of the type of skin you're working on. There are 3 types of skin condition you will be working on during a dry e-file manicure: normal, dry, and oily. Normal and dry skin will generally be easy to work on. Oily or moist skin will have to be dehydrated during the service with alcohol or a moisture absorbing powder. In combination with the moisture level of the skin, you will have to consider whether the skin is thin or thick. Certain skin types may be too thin for certain diamond or polishing bits, and so you may have to adjust the grit or bit, or both, or altogether avoid an e-file on that type of skin. And that is fine too. Safety and care first. Mistake number 3, not knowing your working angles. Angles in e-file manicuring are very important. The wrong angle on any particular bit can cause damage. A high angle typically will create pressure on the nail, cutting or leaving indents. A low angle is usually safer, but if you're working with bits that have a belly to them, like a flame bit, and you work them low or flat, then you would also be creating damage. Also, take note of what angle you are positioning your pointed bits and instruments. These rarely are used directly pointing into the skin. Instead, they are used at an angle, and their sides are the part that is used to do the work. Which angle you use will depend on what you're trying to accomplish and with what bit. But generally speaking, when it comes to tools on the nail plate, you want to avoid deep or high angles as these can cause damage. Nothing greater than a 45-degree angle here. Mistake number 4, working at the wrong speed with your e-file. Buying expensive equipment like an e-file is like essentially hiring help, and you wouldn't want to be doing the hiree's help. Otherwise, why bother hiring them, right? Likewise with your e-file. Your e-file should take a lot of strain off your work and should speed up the service. But one of the most common mistakes I see newbies make is work at a low speed and them doing the work and the effort rather than the tool. I see also that it takes ages for newbies to move out of those low RPMs because they're lacking confidence, they're still a little bit scared and whatnot. But more practice, more proper technique should boost your confidence. When we're working on the skin, we do have certain levels of speed we want to work with when addressing specific areas all around that nail unit. What I want you to remember when it comes to using your e-file to exfoliate the skin and around the nail plate is that slow means you're tearing at the skin or nail plate, and that fast means you're smoothing out or polishing. Keep this in mind when determining what is your purpose for the specific area of the nail unit that you are working on. Mistake number 5, overfiling in the nail groove. This mistake can be irreversible, so let's make sure we note it and avoid it. Flossing your e-file bit right on the groove where the lateral fold meets the nail plate is a big no-no. Doing so disconnects the nail plate from its attachment layers, making it very difficult for those structures to reattach, leading to permanent detachment of the nail plate from the nail bed in that area. This goes back to knowing your working angles. You want to point your bit away from the sides and rather keep it parallel and off from the nail groove to avoid detachment of the nail plate. Mistake number 6, choosing low-grade tools. For a proper e-file manicure, you need quality tools. The star tools in an e-file manicure are an e-file machine, of course, manicuring implements, and bit attachments. You have to look at your manicure tools as hiring an employee again. They have to help your workload and make things easier for you, not more complicated. That is why quality tools matter. Low quality tools will lead to poor efficiency in the work you're doing. Let's start with an e-file. When choosing a quality e-file machine, you are looking for a machine that has high torque and also low vibration. Those are the 2 key components to weigh in on your e-file purchasing decision. If you make contact with the bit on the nail plate and that e-file slows down, that e-file has low torque. The most professional e-files should yield high torque and low vibration. Usually those are e-file machines with a brushless motor. But an e-file machine is only a third of the equation for a beautiful e-file manicure. Before getting to work your e-file on the natural nails, you need to prepare that canvas. You have to clear all skin out of the way where your nail products are going to lay. Precision is key, and you're only going to get that precision when you use good technique and quality tools. That is why for the last 5 years, I've resorted to using Staleks Pro, this video sponsor, as my first choice when it comes to manicuring implements and diamond bit attachments. Staleks, a European company, has been a leader in manicuring tools now for almost 30 years. They're there at every step of the manufacturing and distribution of their products, from cutting the steel bars and employing state-of-the-art machinery to investing in training their employees in precise hand sharpening of their tools. Staleks goes above and beyond to keep their status as a global leader in manicuring tools. With distribution in 90 countries, you're sure to find a distributor in your area. Their website will be linked below so that you can find your nearest distributor and learn more about all the different pushers, nippers, and bits they offer. I'm personally looking forward to getting my hands on the unique combo pusher so that I can customize the ends of my pusher to whatever tool I desire. Staleks USA is currently offering subscribers 10% off products with code Paola, so make sure to look down in the description box below for that specific link. So what are you looking for in a quality pusher and nipper? You're looking for sharpness. You will know your nippers are sharp and precisely cut if you press the cut and the cut is made at the first go without you having to pull at the skin at every nip. You simply cut and release to remove the skin you are trying to remove. That is a good sign of a good quality sharpened nipper. A cuticle pusher tool also needs to be sharp and thin, or it's preferred that it is. I didn't know this until about my 3rd year in the industry. Having a pusher tool that is sharpened at both ends is going to help separate the nail fold from the cuticle, allowing you to easily distinguish between the two for thorough exfoliation. I used to think any cuticle pusher was just fine until I was introduced to Staleks pushers and was told they were sharpened. I was mind blown. Blunt pushers would be okay to use if you are just trying to push back that proximal nail fold, and I certainly use some of them here and there with my manicures, but you should definitely give sharpened pusher tools a try. You'll see what a difference they make on the majority, if not all, of your clients. And lastly, the third crucial tool in an Efile manicure is a quality exfoliating bit. The best are delicately coated with fine diamond particles. Diamond is the hardest substance on earth, effectively and delicately exfoliating skin. Mistake number 7, not maintaining or replacing your tools in a timely manner. I've had my cuticle pushers for years now, and although I don't use them full time as a nail tech, they've maintained their sharpness. Depending on how much your nippers cost, it may be worth just throwing them out and buying a new pair. This is why it also may be a smarter option to just buy a good quality pair from the start, which you can then send off to get sharpened several times. And of course, having several as a nail tech is key here. A good quality diamond and carbide bit is usually replaced within 3 to 4 weeks as a full-time nail tech. If you are just starting out working on yourself, friends and family, then you most probably could go months before needing to replace your bits, and maybe close to a year before you need to sharpen or buy a new nipper. Again, this is possible only when you invest in quality tools and you look after them. On behalf of my community and myself, I want to thank Staleks for helping me create this video to bring you these mistakes in Efile manicuring so that you can avoid them and improve your technique. I first came across Staleks manicuring implements at a class in 2017, and over the years I find myself coming back to them again and again. If you would like to learn my simplified method for detailed Efile manicuring using Staleks implements, check out my Efile manicure course linked down in the description below. If you would like to continue learning with me, please subscribe and also stick around for the next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.